The ARCA race has officially concluded from Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Austin Green picks up his first career ARCA win, and Cletus McFarland finishes ninth, but does cause a little bit of controversy on one of the restarts. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching the ARCA race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We got a little bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So first, let's begin by talking about the winner of the race, Austin Green. Austin Green tonight put together a really incredible and very, very strong performance tonight. He should be the star of this race. He did a really great job after William Swalch got a ton of damage, because in my opinion, William Swalch probably had the fastest car before he got the damage on that restart with Cletus McFarland. He had the fastest car in there, but Austin Green ran up front all night long. His car looked really good, and this is a well-deserved win for Austin Green. Once all this stuff had settled, he would be the guy to beat at the end. So congratulations to Austin Green on picking up his first career ARCA win. The guy's been working for some really good opportunities. I know it's been up and down this year in the Xfinity Series with Jordan Anderson Racing. Unfortunately, he's failed to qualify for a few races this year. But if you give this guy an opportunity in top-level equipment like Pinnacle, which has won races with Brendan Butter being queen twice this year and probably should have 3 or 4 wins, if you give a guy like this who has talent an opportunity, who's won races in the TA2 Series, he contended TA2, you really give him an opportunity, he's going to prove it to you. So congratulations to Austin Green. I'm really happy for him. I've seen this guy do great things. He got a big lead when Swalch's car really fell off. He got a really big lead and hung on. So congratulations to him on picking up his first career ARCA win. But now what many of you have clicked this video for, Cletus McFarland. Now, Cletus McFarland tonight was making his first non-super speedway start, and he did finish in 9th place tonight. Of course, he did run top 10 most of the night, and his car did look very, very good in the early portion of the race. He didn't have the speed for guys like Austin Green, William Swalch, Grant Enfinger, LeVar Scott, many of those guys up front, and maybe even Isabel Robusto as well. But he was maintaining the top 10, and say what you want to say in the early portion of the race, he was doing a really good job. He was up front, maintaining the track position, and was running around 8th or 9th position early in the event, and was up to 7th position. Of course, there were a couple drivers in front of him that had issues. Brendan Queen, unfortunately, had a flat tire early in the race, and unfortunately, Will Kimmel, who was dominating the early portion of the race with a legacy motor, he unfortunately had an engine failure around 20 laps in the event. This gave him a couple positions, and he moved up to 7th. What really triggered what would happen was there was a debris caution would happen on lap 38 or 39 of the event. They never really addressed where that debris was. Fox never really addressed that because Fox's coverage tonight was not really good. But they would come back from break, and for some reason, there would be a lot of guys that come down pit road. William Swalch would come down pit road. I believe Grant Enfinger actually would stay out. A couple other guys would come down pit road, including Andy Jankowiak, Thad Moffitt, Patrick Sarapoli, LeVar Scott, all those guys, they come down pit road, while Grant Enfinger, Cletus McFarland from Rhett Jones Racing, and Isabel Robusto would all stay out. So this was the first time that we've seen Cletus McFarland restart on the front row. Well, on that restart, Cletus McFarland, unfortunately, would end up spinning the tires and cause a massive chain wreck pileup. He spun the tires really bad. He got into Isabel Robusto. She spun out, and a lot of cars got collected that were really good, including Spencer Gallagher, who was having a really good run. Laney Bice got collected. William Swalch, who dominated the early portion of the race. I believe Patrick Starapoli also got some damage in that incident, and I believe Brayton Laster also unfortunately got collected in that incident, unfortunately. Now, obviously, a lot of people that I saw on social media were blaming Cletus McFarland, and yes, he's the one that spun the tires, but I think a lot of the blame, honestly, has to go to the people who made him stay out, and that is Rhett Jones Racing. Rhett Jones Racing should have never let him stay out there. They should have brought him down pit road, because Cletus has never restarted on the front row. And we've seen people spin the tires before, and we saw it tonight quite a bit. But I think in this case, the situation, they should have never let Cletus McFarland stay out there, because that was really, really bad. And I know a lot of people, like I said, were clowning on Cletus McFarland, and I'm not really going to fully put a lot of blame on him, because we've seen a lot of drivers in the past do spin the tires. Let's go back to 2020, for example. Remember the Busch Clash where like a bunch of cars basically wrecked on the front stretch and like every car got collected, including Eric Jones, who actually won the race. Ryan Newman, a lot of those guys got collected. Then Kyle Larson got collected in that race. Denny Hamlin got collected. Yeah, a lot of those guys have done it. Even some of the best have wrecked on the restarts. But that was about as bad as when Cole Witz basically spun the tires at Homestead in 2016, which helped Daniel Suarez get that championship. I just feel for Cletus, and I know he's kicking himself for what happened there, but I can't put all the blame on Cletus. He didn't have his normal crew chief. Greg Zipadelli hasn't really been a crew chief in the last couple years. He was the substitute crew chief for this event. And unfortunately for Cletus, not having the same guy in your microphone telling you how things are going to go like Greg Biffle as well, that unfortunately can trigger some of the incidents that happened there. And I feel like in this case, this situation, I've seen a lot of people on social media saying, oh, Cletus McFarland should never race again. Cletus McFarland should never be out there on track. Cletus McFarland experience needs to come to an end, which I completely disagree. Cletus McFarland brings a lot of eyes to the sport. I know some people are saying he's 42,000 people or his fans, but to me, when I look at this, Cletus does bring a lot of eyes to the sport, and I get what happened tonight was a really, really big mistake, and there's no denying it and no questioning about that, but I don't really think Cletus McFarland has done something worse than other people done in the sport before. So I'm going to defend Cletus on that. And it's a shame, too, what happened here, because like I said, Cletus McFarland has generally brought a lot to this sport over the course of the last couple months. You think about how well he ran at Talladega, despite the fact he lost a cylinder. He, of course, finished it really good in that event, and despite the fact he lost cylinder, finished ninth like he did tonight. And then Daytona was running in the top 10, looked very competitive, and then got caught up in a wreck by Amber Balkan, who had a major issue in the race. To me, for Cletus McFarland, I think this will be known as a learning process for him, and I think people like Greg Biffle, Greg Zipadelli, and those guys can definitely help him, but whoever made him stay out, I got to question the move, right, because that was really, really questionable, and that caused that incident right there, which is a shame, because it took out a lot of really, really good cars. But after all that happened, Cletus would actually maintain the top 10 or 12, but the damage unfortunately would affect him. By around 2025 to go, he'd be up around 5th or 6th in the restart, but unfortunately the handling was terrible on that car with all the damage it had, and he would fade all the way back to just being inside the top 10 in 9th place. Patrick Sarapoli got by him, Thad Moffitt got by him, and Angie Jankowiak, who restarted a little bit farther back, he would also get by him as well, and he would come across the line in 9th place. Again, what happened here was definitely unfortunate. I don't think Cletus McFarland had any sort of intentions to cause a wreck there. That was just an unfortunate mistake for Cletus McFarland right there. But it's unfortunate because it's really going to overshadow the race that happened. And again, it's really unfortunate because for Cletus, I think he had done a decent job, all things considered, until that incident that happened. But I think it'll be a learning process for him going forward. He does have Bristol coming up really, really soon. He has experience at that track, so he should know how to do really, really well. And I think despite the issues, he did well until that issue happened. So while it's unfortunate what happened here, I think it'll be a learning process for him. He at least got a top 10, so that's good, but it's unfortunate that a lot of other drivers who had chance and opportunities to contend didn't get the chance and opportunity to be up front, but nonetheless, Cletus McFarland does finish 9th. And once again, congratulations to Austin Green on picking up the win. Good to see him pick up his first career ARCA victory in the series. So that is going to be today's special video on Cletus McFarland and Austin Green from Charlotte. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me to our Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go to below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. Your thoughts about the ARCA race, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And congratulate Austin Green on picking up his first career win in ARCA. And congratulate Cletus McFarland on getting a top 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later tonight on the channel, we're going to see the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race review from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then tomorrow, we're going to have the Xfinity Series race review from Charlotte and the Coca-Cola 600 qualifying reactions. And then, of course, on Sunday, we're going to have the Coca-Cola 600 starting lineup. We're also going to have the race review for the Coke 600 and the Indy 500 as well. And then on Monday, we're going to have a NASCAR news. We'll be discussing news over the course of the last couple days. We're going to talk about Kyle Busch and the contract with him likely returning to RCR. We're going to talk about William Byron's contract extension. We're going to talk about people like Haley Deegan, Shane Gisberg, and Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Cletus McFarland, Dodge, Matt Benedetto, Frankie Muniz, Connor Zilic, Junior Motorsports, other things like KSL, Logan Paul, Donald Trump, all the good stuff we'll be talking about on the channel in the coming days and weeks as we get closer to the next week in Nashville. We got a lot of good stuff coming out, and there also should be a silly season update once again coming out by the end of the month as we're starting to get more silly season information coming out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content like ARCA content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.